What's up, flappers? So, Yoimiya, man oh man. Originally, it was not like this, right? During the patch 2.0 livestream, the hype for Yoimiya was equally as big as Ayaka, and some could say it was even bigger. The problem of Yoimiya's banner is not the characters though, but the positioning, and this I have to give props to Mihoyo. So if you are new to this channel and this is your first time, consider liking and subscribing. We talk about Genshin related news, we just discuss Genshin Impact in general, and we talk about this every single day, day in, day out. We live and breathe Genshin here on the channel. So without further ado, let us get into the video and talk about why exactly that Yoimiya's banner will likely suffer from both a lack of interest and also poorly timed banner placement, and how actually Mihoyo probably doesn't care if they don't make money from Yoimiya's banner. So going back a little bit, I mentioned that the problem of Yoimiya's banner is not really the character itself, but rather the position. Now that was a half truth, so let's break that down a little more, because understand that Mihoyo willingly revealed the upcoming characters, and at this point it seemed like this will be something they continue to do into the future patches. So in patch 2.0 we already know what characters are going to come likely in patch 2.1, and what this essentially does is give players more room for thought. And personally, I work as a real estate agent. There is a saying we have, which is never let a client think it overnight, because if that happens, more often than not, they will opt out of a purchase. It's the same with Genshin. When players see something new and shiny, their first response is, damn, I want that. But after some thought, more often than not, most people will collect themselves and realize they don't actually need it, and they will eventually opt out of that purchase. Now, this is the case with Yoimiya. Not only did players have a long time to think it over, but at the same time also got additional information of a newer and shinier toy to look forward to. Now this is extremely dangerous. Essentially what I'm describing is almost like a buyer's market, where there's a couple options here and Mihoyo wants to sell them to you, but currently you have the final call on which one you want to make the purchase for. Now with that being said, Yoimiya doesn't just suffer due to bad press and mistimed banner position. If we are to actually break down Yoimiya's character kit, her pros and cons also likely leads to people skipping her. And that is the fact that she is, yes, in fact, a pyro DPS. Another pyro DPS, I should say. While it's not a secret, pyro characters are some of the best in the game, there is, however, a threshold where enough is enough. With how many solid pyro units there currently are, players simply have too many options to choose from. And again, from what I have seen as a real estate agent, when given too many options, people more often than not tend to just sit and wait. We are all greedy. We all want each currency to be maximized to the fullest. Nobody wants to go in there and make a purchase knowing that there is something likely better to come in the near future. Now, if you thought we were done, we're actually not. Yoimiya is the first 5-star that we got to play, test, and try out prior to her banner release outside of the beta testing phase for Genshin Impact. So this means that for players who likely were on the fence and would have gotten caught in the hype to pull for her, they now get to playtest her and have that marinate in their minds as we move towards Yoimiya's banner. When it comes to generating impulsive purchases, all of this actually serves against that purpose. So now your question may be, why is Mihoyo doing it like this? What purpose does Mihoyo, what do they have to gain by giving us all this information and giving us time to think over which character we should pull for? So this is why I wanted to commend Mihoyo and give them props. They could have easily mentally gamed a portion of the community for a couple quick dollar bills, but they chose otherwise. And before you start giving them a slow round of applause, understand this. If we change our perspective and think about this from Mihoyo's side, right? This is also because Mihoyo understands that there are just too many characters currently that are coming out, and they are bound to get you with one of them. And also, it's just not realistic to expect players to be able to get more than 1 or even 2 and also be able to level them up. Right now, resources are incredibly tight, and unless you are a semi-whale who is refilling twice to 3 times per day, you are not going to be able to keep up with the speed Mihoyo is releasing characters. Remember, they're not just releasing 5 stars, they're also releasing 4 stars, and Mihoyo are balancing these 4-star characters extremely well. So going forward, you likely can use them not only just for combat, but for general exploration purposes as well. These characters have now become multi-purposeful, and that is by design. I understand that a lot of people feel really bad for Amber, and I understand that Mihoyo likely feels pretty bad as well. There's really nothing they can do for her. If they buff her, they're putting in resources into a character that is essentially free to play, and that's not going to generate any revenues. And for investors, that's going to look really bad. Investors are going to be questioning why the developers are putting in work towards this sector of the game where it's not going to generate them any returns. So going forward, these 4-star characters are likely going to be balanced very well, and Mihoyo can use current 4-star characters that are performing extremely well as a basis and foundation for future 4-stars. Also, small spenders are tight with cash, and even if you bait them into oblivion, they likely can only pay for one of the many upcoming characters. So it doesn't really matter which one they pick as long as they spend on one of the banners. Whales would collect all of the characters, so there really isn't much work that needs to be done in order to convince the whales. Finally, we have the Giga Whales, the Leviathans, whatever you want to call them. These players will C6, R5, anything that moves, so that's covered as well. So what I'm saying is, in the end, Mihoyo doesn't really need to care whether Yoimiya does well or not, because if Yoimiya flops, it's likely just going to mean that the traffic will flow into another banner. It's all going into Mihoyo's pockets in the end, so what's there to worry about for Mihoyo? You're either getting baited on Yoimiya's banner, or you're gonna get baited on Bao's banner, or you're gonna get baited into Kokomi's banner, and hey, if that doesn't work, they'll get you in patch 2.2. So there's the answer. Mihoyo doesn't care because they're not losing any money, essentially. It's like, would you rather have your money be put into this checkings account in this bank or this checkings account in that bank? It's still your money, just in a different bank account, alright? Maybe that's a bad way to put it, but I hope this video has cleared things up. You know, people don't hate Yoimiya. There's just better options, and of course people are at different stages in the game. With that said, thank you for watching. I look forward to pulling for Yoimiya and testing her out. I myself am a collector. I get all the characters in the game, so not just Yoimiya, but I do need that Sayu as well. And God bless, please don't make me fish too deep for these characters. Anyways, I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Until then, stay safe and peace.